Okay, my name's Ellen Cunningham, and I'm the game writer for Cardpocalypse, a new game from Gambrinus.
Ellen, what is Cardpocalypse?
Cardpocalypse is a narrative-driven RPG card game where you play as Jess, a 10-year-old girl who's going to school in Dudsdale Elementary. It's a new school, and she's hanging out with her friends, and the entire school is obsessed with Mega Mutant Power Pets, a new card game. It's taken the whole world by storm, kind of inspired by like massive card game trends from the 90s. And all of us as kids collecting something, and with all of our friends and being obsessed with it.
Talk about the game itself. What are you doing in this game? You're walking around trying to make friends and fighting people in card games?
Yeah, so it's kind of like an RPG where the combat is a card game, a CCG, that you play single player. It's a total single player game, and so we can do some really interesting stuff with that. It's a kind of exploration game. You walk around, it's all in Dudsdale Elementary in the school. You go around the school, talk to friends, do side quests, play card games, and develop your relationship with Jess's group of friends that she has.
Well, I asked you this when we were sitting down, but I'm going to ask again. What was the decision to make it single player only? I know that opens up more creative revenues when designing the game, but was that something you wanted to do beforehand, or did multiplayer come up at all?
It was discussed. It was something we thought about, but we really wanted to create an experience that was inclusive for a lot of people. I feel like there's a barrier of entry for people for card games, whether it's physical card games, which are kind of expensive sometimes and hard to invest in, or whether it's digital and it's online and it feels a little competitive and a little kind of harsh and a little stressful. So it's nice to be able to provide people with a really inclusive experience, and as you mentioned as well, it opens up some really interesting creative avenues for us. So within Cardpocalypse, you can change your cards and you change the overall rules of the entire game and customize them to what you want to play with and make decisions for your game, which is really cool, I think.
As a writer, where did you draw inspiration for the story in this game?
A lot of the inspiration came from personal experience and things I went through when I was a kid, and other people's kids and weird stories that you hear. You know, kids have a very strange logic and can be really funny sometimes, really wholesome and innocently. They'll just kind of confuse things and have like really weird, interesting, imaginative perspectives on things that like I think we all find really funny and interesting. And there's a lot of like shared childhood experiences, no matter what age you are. A lot of kids have collected things and had funny adventures with their friends, and that was a big influence on the writing of the game.
You were telling me you went a little crazy with the Pokemon cards as a kid?
Oh yeah. Yeah, impulse control problems. But yeah, no, and it was a whole, like, you know, it was a global thing, and Pokemon is still going on now. Like, it's still, like, collecting is something that we all, I think, take part in when we're kids, but even now when we're adults. And yeah, it was a big part of my childhood.
So talk about the card game within the game itself, because it's a game within a game.
Yeah.
So talk about, like, how do the resources work, how many cards can you have, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So within the game we have Mega Mutant Power Pets, which is a cartoon in the game's story, but also a card game that you can play within the game. And you have your own champion and a deck of cards, 20 cards, which means it's very manageable to build your own deck and manage that. And then the enemy, who's an AI that you play against, has their own deck, and then you attack their champion and they attack yours, and you try to reduce their health to 0 and win. And you do that by playing smaller minion cards that create kind of like a small army on your side that will fight for you. And you use pet food to do that, of course, because it's mutant power pets.
Do you have a favorite Mega Mutant Power Pet? Wow, try and say that 3 times fast is hard.
Yeah, I kind of like Pouffant, who's kind of like a diva, you know, and she's like wants to be like a faction leader. So we have like 4 factions in the game, which is dogs, cats, reptiles, and rodents, called Woofians, Meowtants, Sinisters, and Pipsqueaks. Yeah, and so Pouffant kind of wants to be like faction leader, but she can't quite get there because she thinks she's a bit too big for her boots, I think.
Could your card game exist outside the digital game?
That's such a nice thought. I mean, I feel like it would kind of remove some of the cooler things that we can do within a digital space. So within this game, we can put stickers on cards, and you can rename cards that you have in your collection and name them after your favorite childhood pet or something. And you can change the rules of the card game completely and customize them for your own. So that's a really cool thing that we can do. But I don't know, maybe at some point we might make some kind of physical version of the card game.
So when does the game come out? What platforms will it be on?
It's going to be on Apple Arcade, it's going to be on PC, and all major consoles, and it's coming out in fall of 2019.